Welcome to the Hair and Beauty Sanctuary podcast for another episode with Danae, your girl Danae. And today, before we even get started, I'm going to need you to like it, subscribe, and tell all your friends. But today, we're going to have a special guest, and her name is Miss April Moore. And today our topic is going to be about her journey as a cosmetology instructor. With that being said, let's give a warm welcome to April Moore.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming
Thank
in.
you, Danae.
I'm so excited.
I love Danae, y'all.
You're so crazy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, so let's get started here. I got a couple of questions for you.
Yes,
you know.
ma'am.
So first of all, tell us, the people out there in the sanctuary,
Okay.
what inspired you to get a career in the beauty industry?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Well, I didn't start off going to hair school. So, as you know, I went to a 4-year college and I got my bachelor's degree, but I always was the one doing the hair for my friends.
Okay, in college.
Right.
Okay.
I was the one going to their house, their dorms, doing their mama's hair, sister hair, cousin. And I said, you know what? I could do this for a living. But then, of course, you can't get money for 2 schools.
That part.
So you have to choose. And my family was like, well, that's not a real job.
Oh my goodness. I know that feeling because that's what I got too.
Right.
That's what I had got too.
So I finished. I finished my 4-year degree, and then I started working, and then life happened, and then I had a baby,
Okay.
and then
What do you mean by life happened? What happened?
I lost my job.
Oh.
I lost my job, and so I was a stay-at-home mom doing what? My hair.
Okay.
I couldn't have anyone do my own hair.
Right.
So I'm doing my own hair, and then someone goes, "Did you do that?" I said, "Yeah, why? That looks really good. You should do other people's hair." I said, "Well, I do."
Right.
They said, "Well, do it legally." So I said, "You know what? Okay, I don't have a job. Why not? I'm not doing anything."
Okay.
So I had a pretty good support system that allowed me to go to school.
Okay.
So I did hair school, which was an interesting journey. I'm sure we're going to get into it. And I just really like to make people feel better about themselves.
Yes. And I think that's what a lot of us do when we decide that we want to go to school. Well, for me, I didn't think of it as, oh, I'm making somebody look good. I was just thinking of it as, okay, this is what I need to do to get money to pay bills. It didn't never sit with me that, oh, this is gonna make somebody's day or somebody's gonna feel like this. So I didn't get that till later on. Strangely enough, but I didn't catch on that
Yeah.
till later. So when you say that when after you lost your job after going to college and you had a baby and then you got into the school and did you get done right away or did it get you?
Ooh, so when I started, like I said, I had a baby, a small baby. She was 6 months at the time. So her father worked during the day. So our plan was during the day I stay home with the baby. When he gets off, I'll go to school.
Right.
So I went to school at night.
Okay.
That was hard because I've only had experience with traditional school. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college. And now hair school is a different beast.
Yes.
It's like you have freedom, but you don't have too much freedom. So I was battling with being a new-time mom, going to school at night. So it wasn't bad, But then life continued to happen.
Okay, and you
I
say
found a
life.
job. I
Okay,
found another job on the other side of town.
okay,
And if you ever went to hair school, you know it's on hours. You
yeah.
can't be late. Every second counts. And I was always late. Sorry, y'all. I was always late. So I transferred schools so
Okay,
I could be closer to my job.
okay.
So that worked out for a little bit. Life happened again. I lost my job again. I got
What?
laid off. Yes.
Stop.
Yep. So I got laid off. So I said, you know what? Something is preventing me from doing this. This must be something I need to do.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
right.
again, my support system came in. Do what you got to do. I went to school during the day.
Okay,
So I
okay.
switched to days. And when I switched to days, it kind of life started happening again. Just being down, not wanting to go, being discouraged, not getting what you need from school. Why am I here? So I just pushed and I went day and night.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
So you was
I was
determined to
determined.
get done
Yep,
with
that's
school.
right.
I
That's
get
right.
that. I get that because I was kind of like that too.
I was like, I
I
have to
was
get
like,
out of here.
okay, I'm gonna do this 9 months. I'm getting up out of here.
Right. And when you
You
go at
know?
night,
Yeah.
it's like a year and some
Right.
change.
Yes, it's
So
longer.
it prolongs you being in the program. And then you have to deal with whatever you have to deal with at home.
Right.
And then you come here to school. You have instructors, you have other students, you have clients.
Correct. Right.
So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I like the fact that you're saying that life happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, when most people who do go to school, they end up dropping out
Yes.
anyway.
Yes.
A lot of people drop out of
Mm-hmm.
school,
Mm-hmm.
which, it happens.
Right.
And, like, you know, luckily for you, you had help.
Yes.
You had, I guess, your
Absolutely.
family,
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
child's
Yes.
father was able to
Absolutely.
help you. So, that
Absolutely.
was good.
Mm-hmm.
So, once you got done, with school and your first job,
Mm-hmm.
how was your first, what was it like
Oh,
looking for
man.
now, well, let's go back. So now you said something about when you were in school, what was some of the positive things that was going on into the school?
When I was in school, there were a few instructors that were really passionate about their craft.
Mm,
And I call it a craft because I could tell it wasn't just their job.
gotcha. Yeah.
And it on the days where you feel not so good, not so inspired, you still had those people and you could see it, you could feel it
Mm-hmm.
that they were like really wanting to show you how and what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those people I still know to this
Oh,
day
yeah.
have been like just
Like
okay.
a good
Yes,
mentor for you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
was like a really good thing. And then another good thing too, you're not there by yourself.
Yeah.
You have other students. They got life going on too, just
Yeah.
like you.
Somebody always worse than you.
Yes. Yeah. So you be like, dang. Right when I thought, okay, no, it ain't that bad. But it's like it's almost like a sisterhood, brotherhood, because you had men too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like a family,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
dysfunctional family.
Yeah. So, what would you say would have been a negative part that you would have? What would you have changed? Not necessarily a negativity, but what would you change?
Um, I would have liked to see. I guess I guess they probably can't help it. A more diverse clientele.
When you say diverse,
Hmm.
you mean it where you could have more experience with different textures of hair.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I know you can't help demographically where the school is.
correct, correct.
But if there would have been some type of way to encourage different types of hair to
Hmm.
come in,
Right.
because as a woman of color, of course, we learn our own hair. It's our own heritage. It's our own
That's
culture.
right.
And why would you want to box yourself
Into that same,
into a
right.
box
That's
and
right.
not explore other types of hair?
Hmm.
So that was a negative.
Yeah. And I agree with that. See, when I was in school, I know I keep talking about myself, but hey, it's
It's
my
okay,
show,
girl. It's
so
okay, girl.
it's my
It's okay,
podcast.
girl. That's all right. I'm here for it.
But anyway, I was able to, but this, like I said, was in the 90s, and schools was there was probably 3 schools in the area because I was in Charleston at that
Okay.
time. And the one school I went to was closer to my house. So there was a school that just did, nothing but African American hair, whatever you want to call it. And at my school, we did it all. There was all types of clientele came in. And the thing that I do say that was odd for me was we didn't get a lot of, like, I wished we had more experience with skin, and but skin wasn't real popular
Right.
back then like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's why I say that when you're talking about diversity, it does need to be a lot of diversity in these schools, because so many people nowadays are wanting to learn it all. I hear it all the time. And customers need to understand that you will be surprised how many people can actually do all kinds of
Yes,
hair.
absolutely.
So you can't just look and think, oh, Bridget can't do
Right.
it, or even April can't do it, or or whatever. So with that being said, once you started what made you decide to be an instructor?
Like those people I mentioned that poured into me, I wanted to be able to pour into somebody else.
Oh, I like that.
My first job I got through the school. There was like a career fair, if you will, and that's how I met the first salon owners where I worked.
Okay.
And I still have rapport and good relationship with them too.
Okay.
And I just saw how people were pouring into me who didn't look like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like, of
Yeah.
course, I'm gonna make the connection with someone who looks like me.
Correct.
So, but I want someone else to pour into me who doesn't look like me because they can show me something else.
Right. Correct.
So I went through a program for my instructor's license. I was so nervous. I was putting it off.
Right.
The procrastination in me
Yeah.
must be a hair people thing. I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a procrastinator.
Me too. I'm so sorry. Don't judge me, y'all. I'm so sorry. So it was right before COVID, and I took this class, right? Took the class. It was phenomenal. The person I had for an instructor for my instructor's license, hands down, the best.
Wow.
The best. And she comes from the world of education. She was a language arts teacher. So I did that. I took the course. Y'all, life happened. It happened to all of us, and COVID came. COVID came, and everything, the world literally just stood still.
Right. It did.
So I had, 45 hours for your instructor's license here in South Carolina. So I had these 45 hours. I didn't go to state board yet. And I was like, man, I am collecting dust on these 45 hours. So when is it going to happen? I had friends. Danae, when you gonna go and do your thing? I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So now I can't blame COVID anymore. So I took my test. This was like a couple years afterwards. That's how good the class was. It was so good. Y'all, I didn't need a note. I didn't need anything.
Oh, wow.
I took it first try. Boom, knocked it out.
Oh, my.
Yes. So I said, you know what? I got my stuff now. So now let me do my thing. Let me see what's going on in the world of education with cosmetology. So there you have it. So now I'm in the classroom.
Okay.
I'm in the classroom. Y'all kind of giving y'all a synopsis, a little summary, but I'm in the classroom. And of course, if you have clocked your 1,500 hours, if you're from South Carolina in the other state, you know there's certain things you have to do as a student. So there are certain criteria, certain subjects that you do have to teach. Sanitation, hair cutting, men's cutting, all that good stuff.
Right.
So now I'm in the trenches. with the students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say the trenches,
Mm-hmm.
you sound like you was going to war.
Girl, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
So, okay, so you say you were in the trenches. Now, when you so
Y'all, Danae.
so being in the school, what what were the positive side of being
Okay.
in the school?
Being in the school, so now I'm on the other side. So now I'm not a student. I'm a part of the staff. I'm an instructor.
Right.
So having to understand, and I will say this, I am in a school where I went to school.
Okay. All right.
So
So
I
they kind
understand.
of familiar with you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So and also that makes me familiar with what they're going through. I understand life happens. I understand if you have children, you have a mom, you have a dad, you have a husband, you have a boyfriend. I get all of that. But I also get when you come into this building that you are due 1,500 hours. And by any means necessary, if you want this license, you will clock these 1,500 hours. So not just following what I have to teach out of a book, a Milady or whatever book you're using, I do also have to put my spin and give them things that I didn't get.
All right. I like that.
So the positive would be I know I'm making a difference. I know I can't reach everybody, but I know I can reach at least a handful. If there's 100 students in this building, I know for certain I could be an influence to at least 5.
Gotcha. So they say it sometimes just one person
Right.
can change.
And then when you've built a rapport with your students and they trust you. So not just to say, oh, Miss April comes to school and she's cute or she knows what to say, is I know Miss April is not going to misguide me.
Right.
And I know Miss April is going to look out for me, not just as a student, but as a person. 'Cause
Right.
they're a person first before they're a student.
Yeah. How can we can get students to realize, because when I think about it, you going to pay 20 and something dollars to go to school, and then you either don't finish, then you got debt, or you finish and then you don't do it, you end up doing something else. Some people just do it just to say they got their license.
Right.
And that's fine, because it is good to have credentials and and things like that. But what about the student who really wants to do it? Then they get to the job and they get out there and they're like, this isn't nothing like what they told me.
Wow. Again, if you know, you know. That happens a lot. I see that a lot. I have seen it a lot. And I think it starts with the first moment you walk through the door. I think in their heads, it's like they see, shout out to all the celebrity stylists. We love y'all, baby. We love y'all.
Yeah.
But they think as soon as they walk in the door, they're going to be a celebrity stylist.
Right.
And like you said, you grew up in the world of hair. I didn't. So for me, I was going in with blinders on. I didn't know what to expect. The only thing I knew was what I thought I knew from me being a kitchen titian.
Right. And that's a lot of that going on.
And yeah, yeah. And so it was for the student who truly wants to be there. How do you mold them versus the student who's just there because their mom and dad said, you got to get out my house, so you got to go to school. I've heard that too. You know?
Wow.
So they figure hair school has to be easier than college.
Right. They think that. It's not. It's not.
It's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
So you have to treat them differently because, like you said, it is expensive. You're now accruing debt. Whether you're 16, 17, 18 years old or you're a 55, 65-year-old woman, it's still debt.
Right.
You have to treat them differently. And that's where you treat them like a person, not a student. You need to figure out why are you here?
Right.
I mean, they have an admissions team who it's their job to
To
get you in the
get you in the
door.
door. Right.
Not so much the instructor's job to keep them once they're in the door. I can be the best instructor all day, but if there's no will, then how do you stay?
Right.
You have to have will to stay. So for me personally, well, why do you want to be here?
That's the question.
Okay, you love hair? Great. Awesome. I could work with that. You want to be here because your mom says you have to have somewhere to go during the day? How do I work with that? You know?
Right.
So now I have to find a gift in them. Sometimes the gift isn't always hair. It might be nails.
Yeah.
It might be skin.
Right. That's right.
But fortunately, our license here incorporates all of that. It might be lashes.
Right.
I've seen students who come in there and they do phenomenal lashes, awesome makeup, but technically, I mean, we won't get into what you have a license for, but there's something. Don't dim the light while they're not there. You got to
Right.
find the light to keep them
Them
there,
right.
because there's going to be days, and I tell my students today, first day they're in my class, it will be days you won't want to be here. It's some days I may not want to be here. It's some days I may not want to see you here.
Right.
But we have to figure out a healthy relationship on, and some days in there, I was sitting there at my desk like, it's going to be hard. And they go, Miss April, are you okay? Yeah, sure, you know? And then I have to remember I'm their mentor.
Right.
So I have to be strong enough for them.
Right.
So
Well, at least they check on you.
they do. They still do. They do. They do.
Miss April.
Yeah, they do.
So now you're just working now because you're not doing instructor's work now. But what advice would you give instructors or beauty schools that could help kind of, because to me, the beauty school is the foundation.
Yes.
That is the foundation. What I do love, and I spoke to, I can't never pronounce her name right. If anybody know me, I can't never get nobody's name right.
Sounded out good.
And I need to get this. But she is, her school is, I hope she don't mind me talking about her, but her school is out in Conway, South Carolina. She is known to be the first Black woman to own her own beauty school.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful lady. Spoke to her on the phone one time, and I loved her passion as an owner of a school. For me, listening to her talk and how she got started, and just and I know it reflects on her employees, on her instructors.
Oh man, Danae, that's just.
And because it's hard when you have to, like you said, you got people from 16, 80 maybe? Who knows? You don't never know what you're going to get.
Right.
And sometimes you do need to tell people, maybe this ain't for you.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you may say, well, may not need to go into the whole cosmetology. Maybe you need to specialize in one other area.
But then now you're getting into that blur line of business. Hair school is a business. Hair school is a business, the hair industry, talented or not. So now it's, this person says they love to do hair, but do they really love to do hair?
I know.
Do they love hair enough to sacrifice 6 to 8, even 10, 12 hours a day? And I hear students say this all the time. Listen, I hear students say, oh, I don't get paid to do.
Head.
Listen, I don't get paid to be here. No, but you pay to be here.
And the reason why I'm laughing is because
Mm.
you see it in the workplace.
And the same habits that it's like your children. What they do at home, they might do out and about.
Right.
So when I tell them,
And it don't matter how old they are,
listen,
though.
Danae, they will show their natural born tail. Baby, I'm trying to tell you. So then when you do have the students, let's say they did it. Yay. 1,500 hours. They passed state board. And now they're looking for a job. Here I am now.
Yeah. So so I know we're getting on another subject and we're going to have to wrap it up here in a
Go on,
minute,
girl, tell them.
what? I know one of the classes I remember taking was about when to apply for a job. And, I'm old or whatever you want to call me, old or old school, whatever, but you had to represent and look a certain way when you went to go apply for a hair job
Absolutely.
or a beauty job, whether you're a barber, skin therapist, nail person, whatever. You have to represent yourself
Right.
when looking for a job.
Right.
So coming out of beauty school, you really don't know much of anything. So when I remember, and I don't know about you, or if they even still do this, we were able to go to job interviews while we were still in school. They would let us, and we had, like, if you were a senior and you was getting ready to get out, you were able to go on, like, interviews and stuff like that. And if sometimes the instructors knew people, they would refer you to whoever they knew, whatever. And I remember going to a couple of interviews. I never got any of the jobs, but like I said, I was very green, very, very, very green. But when I don't even know if they do that now. Do they even teach how you should look, how you should represent yourself,
So
what to look for when you do go to look for a job? Or
So there is, like I said, we have to follow instructors. We have to follow like a syllabus, if you will. So there is a professional chapter. There's a resume chapter. Professionally dressed. But I mean, of course, it's cookie cutter out of the book.
yeah,
But what I do, and then of course, I tell my students what I didn't get. You look like where you want to go.
I get that.
I took a class. I'm not gonna say who class it was, but it was a really good class. And the person said, if I were to stand outside of your salon, I can tell who's coming to see you.
Okay,
So if I look at you, I can tell what type of clientele you have.
okay. I like that.
I like that too. So there's a disconnect between what you should do and what they do.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
I think I'm not going to ask you for anything that I can't do myself. I'm going to be an example for you. So when I show up, that's how I want you to show up.
Right.
Especially in the industry where we are judged on how we look.
Yeah.
I hear people say, oh, her hair ain't done. She must do good hair. Not all the time.
Yeah, I hear that too. That was one of the things that back in the day I would have been like, yeah, I agree,
Right.
but I don't agree with that because I feel as I've been in this industry and working with some good people, good stylists, it's all about time management.
Yes.
And you really got to know how. I still work on that. I'm better, but I still work on it. But because you do got to set time so that you can at least look, like you represent your brand. Because some people, you can look at them and you can look at them, you're like, you do hair, don't you? Or you do
Yes.
nails.
Yes.
Are you a skin therapist? Because your makeup is nice.
Absolutely.
Or they ain't even got on no makeup, but their skin is beautiful.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm always up to par because I'm not.
Me neither.
But at the end of the day, you know, I do feel like a lot of these, um, we're not gonna save the world, but or we just want to try to make the industry better. And I do feel like the school is where
Yes.
it should start.
Yes.
And there are some really, really good schools out there. I'm not putting those schools
Absolutely.
down. You're just speaking from your
Right.
experience. And, but to sum up everything, what would you like to see different in the industry, in the beauty industry as a whole?
I would like to see togetherness in our industry. I feel like we as stylists feel like, well, first of all, we can't do everyone's hair. We can't do everyone in the world's hair. We can't do everyone in Northeast, Southeast, North, Columbia's hair.
Right.
I think it's like reach one, teach one.
Yeah.
You know, if you know something and you know it could benefit someone else,
Yes.
share. Whether it's a word of encouragement or, hey, you know what? When I do my pixie cuts, this product is phenomenal. You should try it on your clients. Or, hey, this color line is phenomenal.
Right.
You can definitely upcharge your clients on this,
Right.
especially the ones who are in position to. Because if you're in a position and you see someone who is green, you see someone who is new, always uplift them because one day you're not going to be behind the chair. This is like the new wave of stylists.
It is a new
I can't
wave.
even say age. It's just
It's
new
a
wave.
whole
Period.
new wave of how it is. You're right.
So
yeah.
I just think like togetherness, some type of like camaraderie with stylists. I know everything has a charge on it. Everything has a price on it, which is true. But if you mentor at least one or two students, one or two new stylists, or even somebody who doesn't do the same thing as you,
Yeah.
like I can't braid a lick. If you know me, I cannot braid. I don't want to learn how to braid. It's cool. Okay, fine. But hey, this product is really good. I know someone who does braid though.
Right.
I know someone who
Yes.
does do locks.
Yes.
I know someone who does this. So now you're teaching me. I can't use that knowledge, but I know someone else who
You
can.
can. Correct.
So
Right.
I think it's just, I would love to see the industry, excuse me. I ain't had no coffee, y'all. I would love to see it like come like bridge a gap because there's a gap.
Yeah.
I'm not going to share with you because I don't want you taking my business.
Oh yeah.
Or I don't want her capitalizing off of what I know.
Right.
I'm a sit on this knowledge. You're gonna sit on it and do what?
Right.
Work 40 hours a day? Impossible. We only have 24 hours a day. You can't do everyone, and everyone is not your cup of tea, and you're not
And
everyone's
you're
cup
not
of tea.
everyone else's cup of tea.
So
That
just
is, yeah.
share your knowledge if you
Yeah.
can, because we have so many students who want to learn.
Yes, they do. Yes.
And as a stylist, we always grow. We're learning something new every day. Our industry is a billion-dollar industry. It changes on a daily. Something can be hot yesterday, and something can be new tomorrow night. So it's like we have to share what we know and don't box ourselves in because we've been
Right.
doing hair for 20, 10, 15 years. Or we just started out doing hair. We know what's hot. We know what's
Right.
trending.
Right.
Share.
Share. Yeah.
Share.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. Share. Share.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Yeah. So I like to always say praying to the hair gods.
Girl, listen, because sometimes
Have you ever had a moment where you had to pray to the hair
Danae,
gods?
I'd be lying if I say I didn't. I'd be like, ooh, Lord, help me. That hair God
I know.
somewhere.
I'd be like, Jesus, Lord, pray over
Just
his
put your
hand.
hand, just put your
Lord, Jesus, let me
hands.
pray over these people.
Listen, color has spirit too.
Huh?
Color has a spirit too.
Yeah.
Listen, yes, I have.
You want to share one of your experiences, whether it was behind the chair or at school, and you had to say, Lord, help me.
Ooh, a perfect one. Okay, so fresh out of school, my first salon job, one of the services was a perm, aka texture perm, aka it smells like money perm, right?
Okay.
In hair school, everyone runs away from them because it's a lot of work.
Yes.
So I had one on my books. I hadn't been doing hair not even 3 months. I remember this vividly. A woman comes in. She said, I want a perm. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. She sits down. We do a consult. We rocking and rolling. I'm rolling her hair. Everything's good. Boom, boom, boom. She's done, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, whew, I did it.
Yes.
I did my first perm outside of school.
Yes.
She calls the next day
Oh, no.
and says, my hair is bone straight now. I said,
Oh, Lord. I bet you
said-
was like, what?
I said, can't be. I did a good job.
Right.
So she's like, well, I want my money back, blah, 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 blah. So she comes in and her hair is indeed straight. So I'm like, what happened? So I'm looking, I'm talking to her, and I even pull, okay, don't judge. I pull the box out of the trash. Don't judge me, don't judge me. I look at the box. The perm is good.
Right.
I call where I bought the perm from. The perm is good. I call the number on the back in case there's an emergency number, 1-800. Yes, I call them. They're like, everything should be fine. Light bulb goes off in my head. During her consultation, we're talking, we're building that rapport. She tells me she had oral surgery days before the perm.
Oh, no.
So they put her to sleep. So the anesthesia did whatever, altered the results of the perm.
Oh,
So I did refund her money,
okay.
but we waited. We waited and I redid the service, no problem. So, yeah.
So you was like, oh, Lord, I was so excited.
I
And she's
was.
like, but see, that's the thing
It
about
didn't do.
consultation. You got to ask these things. This is stuff that people, we just don't do, but it is what it is.
Oh, now I know that.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so
you,
much,
Danae.
April, for stopping by.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too, girl.
I love you.
I love you too, Danae. Thank you so
And
much.
this won't be the last time you'll be
Of course
coming.
not.
And so we're going to conclude this episode here. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share what is it?
Girl, do your thing, girl. You know.
The Hair and Beauty Sanctuary Podcast.
Thank you. I'm hungry.
That was good.
Danae,
You did that.
so petty.
You did that.
Because I'm petty. The petty is, look, I was like, okay, don't name drop. Oh, okay. Looking at camera like, you know what's going to talk about. If you know, you know.
Right. That was good.